So before we jump into this amazing second episode of I Parry Everything, I have to point out something that happened last week to me, but I didn't know about it until today thanks to one of the subscribers of mine, so thank you for this. The VA for Noor, the MC in I Parry Everything, he tweeted this last week, and first time I've ever had someone in the anime industry, as far as I know, watch my stuff and compliment it. And the fact that the author of this work retweeted this tweet, the fact that the author and the main VA of this show, that I was so happy of how they handled episode 1 last week, saw my stuff, my thanks. Such an honor, and honestly one of the highlights of my YouTube career. But episode 2, so good. Listen, if you don't like dense MCs, people who don't realize how strong they are, is this show gonna be for you? Maybe not. But I'm loving Noor, and the interaction with him and this girl's father is so freaking good. We have a character who pretty much gets Excalibur given to him as a reward, and his thought is, this is the same width as the canal, so I can shovel it in my morning routine. Excalibur as a shovel. The fact that every step of the way he's like, I don't want anything. I killed a cow. It's nothing too big. Oh shit, there was a demon running amok? It's a good thing someone did it. It hits my funny bone. I love these types of characters, and it was such a funny freaking episode. I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full good thought to any of these I Parry Everything episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. What I said last week, if you didn't watch last week's video, was, a lot of anime don't have the balls to do what that episode did, because ultimately, most anime these days, not all, but most, they try to make the first episode as impactful as possible. Death, blood, carnage, funny jokes, or just, they don't show the backstory that much because they want to hook you in right away, because a lot of people's attention spans, we're in the TikTok generation, man. If it's longer than 60 seconds, people ain't focusing that hard. So the idea of taking a first episode and just dedicating it to this slow burn progression of story, was there some fun action at the end of the episode? Of course, but it took you a bit to get there, and by doing so, you actually got to know Noor as a character. So entering episode 2 and seeing him just almost try to avoid responsibility without realizing it, because this girl ends up tracking him and saying, hey, I need to give you a reward. Do you want money? Do you want lands? At some point, she's gonna be the damn reward. Dad's gonna try to marry them off 100%. But the idea that he's like, I don't want anything. I killed a cow. It's fine. Okay, you're crying. We'll go meet Papa Dearest. And the fact that what I like about his quote unquote stupidity or his airheadedness is that he doesn't come across as a monkey brain, a muscle brain. But it's there is some silliness, but you have to understand, I don't get the impression that this is the most educated guy of all time. Every step of his way, he would be able to do one small thing per school of training. He's considered a failure. So the thing he defeated, yeah, him considering it a cow kind of makes sense. But it's the fact that as soon as he meets this dude, who's a king, a lord, whatever, he's like, I don't know manners. I don't know how I'm supposed to interact here. I'm not really fit to be here. I was told to come here. We all good. He owns the fact that he's out of place. And it's the fact that this man comes up, money or land, what do you want? No, I'm good. I see, you're a man of taste. Here's this chamber filled with all these amazing items. You can have half. No, I'm good. You want her? I'm surprised that wasn't the next option. The fact that the sword in the OP, which looks so cool, I don't know, what the hell is that mineral made of? I don't know. But the fact that he takes it off the wall, and, of course, with the way he is at that point, if he thinks that sword's legendary, he's not going to take it. Because for Noor, he thinks he's some country bumpkin who doesn't deserve legendary shit. He defeated a cow, why should he have Excalibur? He's like, nah, it's mostly decoration. I just kind of found it. I picked it up on the road. Oh, in that case, sure. And as soon as he grabs that sword, the fact that you feel the gravity and the weight, try to pull him down. Now, Noor's built different, so of course it doesn't bring him down. But collectively, everyone in the room is gasping, that shouldn't be possible. And I'm surprised the windows didn't break. When he swung that thing and you got the impact of the pressure, yeah, he's him. And it's so hilarious because not only does it once again flex how strong he is, it sets up a lot of the people in this show to understand who he is. At the end of this episode, the spear guy basically is like, hey, he's more or less challenging him to a duel. And For some people, you know, the idea of a character not knowing how strong he is, like, it can grow boring. And the odd time, I can be in that camp, but I mostly love that comedy direction. And I think for me, what makes Noor such an adorable cinnamon roll is the fact that he doesn't seem like brain dead. He feels like he's clueless, and if he ever was to properly look himself in the mirror with a lot of the knowledge we as the viewer has, he'll be like, oh, yeah, I should have saw that coming. Maybe he's not an honor student, but I don't think he was in the special class. It's just so funny to watch him interact because he just generally feels like, I just want to go home, I don't fit in here, and I don't want anything, I killed a cow. I'm good, boss, your thanks is all I need. And you can just tell the dad loves him. The dad, I swear to God, within 2 to 3 episodes is going to try to marry off his daughter. And I'm pretty sure the daughter, while she might throw a bit of a hissy fit, would actually quite enjoy it. She'd just be embarrassed at face value. Such a good episode, even better than the first. And the comedy, you can't tell me, even if you're a little indifferent, when he started imagining digging up the canals with Guts' greatsword over here, you weren't at least smiling. Maybe you weren't laughing out loud, but you have to tell me you were at least smiling. Just an absolutely brilliant episode, and I think, like I said with last week, you know, getting that setup and getting to know him as a person before that big brawl, you're like, okay, now I know what to expect for Noor. And then throwing in who most likely will be the main side cast, at least for a little bit here. I mean, we got the dad, we got a couple of knights. I mean, one thing I really appreciate about that girl knight who came and basically was like, hey, you ain't got manners. I ain't gonna overlook this again. You know, I was expecting that real feisty energy the whole way through, but then she started smiling. I was like, okay, you know, I kind of like the vibe that people might push back a little against him, whether it's like, hey, make sure you have manners around the retainers. I can't overlook that. Or the idea that, hey, boss, you might be a little too strong. You're showing me up. I need to challenge you. It doesn't give me the impression like people are going to absolutely despise him in this area, but more so, they're going to challenge him and progress him into being even better than he already is. It's just, yeah, it's a question of how long can he go without truly, because even if all of them say you're strong as shit, he'll say, I killed a cow. It ain't going to happen overnight, but it is going to be interesting to see how they go about just overall progressing Noor's mentality and his own self-worth, I guess. Great episode. Was so happy to learn that the VA for Noor and the author of this work watched my video. Absolute honor. Let me know what you thought down below, because I definitely really enjoyed episode 2, probably at least 2 times more than the first episode, and you saw how much I praised episode 1 last week. Let me know your feelings down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Rusty Warhorse, Joanne, Devil May Carter, Cash and Dolly, and Kaiser Sanny. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.